So Libra, coming into the month, you have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Needles or Two of Swords represents a decision that needs to be made. Some of you have been thinking about something for a long time. You know that a decision needs to be made. The Two of Swords talks about this isn't something that can be shoved under a rug. It's not something you can stick in your head in the sand and ignore. The Two of Needles or Two of Swords talks about an ultimatum in your mind or in your life, something, letting the past go or allowing it to come forward, finding someone new, or staying single, whatever the situation is for you regarding love. The Two of Swords is saying, it's not going anywhere. It's right in front of your face. So if you don't make a decision, you're kind of stuck in a stalemate position, because with the indecision comes, a stagnation. And the next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Queen of Candles or Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's very confident, somebody who's full of ferocity. People are attracted to this person. So Libra, you know your self-worth, you know what you deserve, your dignity. You are trying to uphold also being, putting out into the universe what you want to get back. So, being kind to yourself, but also being kind to others. The Queen of Wands talks about somebody who knows where they're going, somebody who just, people kind of gravitate towards this person. This is somebody who is alive and awoke again to a certain extent, or woke, not awoke again, I guess, awakened or woke. But like I said, the Queen of Wands coming after the Two of Swords is saying that you're coming upon a decision. You know what direction you need to go in, and you're like slicing through it. You're saying, all right, I'm good making the decision with the swords, but I'm hanging in there. Even if there's a little bit of bitterness or sadness between the decision you have to make, and maybe there's heart and head strings pulling in opposite directions. The next card you have is your distant past, or the past 5-10 years. Could be through your childhood, and you have the Sun card. Sometimes represents Leo, but the Sun card talks about a solution. So in the past, you didn't see things as clearly as you wanted to in certain situations, whether it's love, work, you name it. But the Sun card coming out here in the distant past is talking about, all right, we've got solutions to the problem. Maybe you're dealing with, childhood behaviors, things that have affected you from childhood, maybe abandonment issues or divorce issues or abuse issues, whatever the past comes, whatever the past holds for you. But there comes a point where you find the solutions, you can see the light, you work through these issues. So the Sun is talking about turning a new leaf and coming forward and understanding, finally, how to overcome any obstacles. And it could even be just a past relationship that's been driving you crazy, or you didn't get closure. There's something here that you're kind of stuck on, and now you're getting the solutions or the closure or the finalizations that you need. It could even be the rebirth of something, or reconnection, if that's something that's coming towards you personally. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant talks about self-improvement. This is a big deal. Self-improvement is huge. This is self-improvement. This is betterment. This is even for some people finding a teacher. It talks about studies. So a teacher, a friend or somebody that you can talk to about who's been in these same situations. Could even be like a teacher, like a priest or a counselor or an actual, teacher, a professor. But the Hierophant talks about, again, self-improvement, a betterment of yourself, growing wise, but understanding that you don't have all the answers. So being closed-minded is not the best suggestion for you. The Hierophant also relies a lot on the universe, similar to a high priestess type energy, in the fact that when the universe is ready to kind of push you in a direction you need to be pushed, or unveiling certain things that you need to see in order to make the decision that for some of you, you've been needing to make this decision or wanting to. Sorry, my throat. Hold on. Let me just 1 sec. My throat is like seriously dry. But you've been trying to make this decision about this person, this opportunity, again, for a long time. And the Hierophant is saying, All right, now you have the tools to do it. What are you doing, Libra? Where are you going? Which direction are you going? You're being pulled in different directions. That's part of being a Libra and part of the Justice card. A lot of people want you, baby. I mean, sorry, not sorry. Nothing wrong with being wanted, except for it sucks when it's maybe being pulled in directions by people or energy that you've already closed off or that you have no interest in pursuing yourself. So the Hierophant just talks about keeping your head on straight and making sure decisions are made with your best instincts and gut intact. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Six of Potions, Six of Cups. All right, Libra, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I thought you were kind of closing the chapter on this. I think you did too. You saw the solutions of, moving forward, or maybe this wasn't working, but here we go. The Six of Potions or Six of Cups is reconciliation. It's the ultimate reconciliation card. It talks about people coming together, people pulling you in different directions. So the past wants you, somebody new possibly wants you, you're going to meet somebody in the future. Libra, you're very popular this month. Over the next few months, they're telling me February, that you're just going to distinctly have a lot of back and forth momentum. However, you stand very strong in it. You always do. But with this Queen of Wands, you have this energy of, it doesn't matter. Hey, boo. Oh, hey, how you doing? And then over here, like, oh, hey, what's up? Like a new energy. You get my point. So you're going to be able to direct yourself in a lot of different places. Again, it comes down to this Two of Swords, though, this decision. What do you want, Libra? You swear you're swearing off the past. You don't want the past. And then here's the past. You want to be single for life. And then here's the past, or, potentially new people coming in. But the Six of Cups coming up here again is a nostalgic energy of, I want you back. What are you doing? Like, you can't escape this person for some reason right now, Libra. There is no escaping this past because they seem to have this, they're incapable of completely closing it off or completely cutting this connection off. The next card, let's see. The next card you have is anything throughout the month of December. So over the next few weeks. And you have the Devil card, which is Capricorn's card. So you could be dealing with the Cap or have Capricorn placements in your chart. The biggest thing with the Devil card, though, is toxicity, jealousy, control, lies, betrayal, narcissism, all of the above. It could be addictions. It could be vices. I mean, you get the picture. So here's the issue. What is this toxicity for you? Is this somebody new coming in? Is this you trying to get over the past and maybe choosing people very similar to the past, or maybe choosing the wrong type of people because you're avoiding the ultimate, I miss you, or you're avoiding the ultimate reconciliation. But at the same time, this may be this person coming through with this toxicity. It feels like two different energies here, though. I'm not saying that the past hasn't been toxic for you. I'm not saying, but I also feel like maybe in dealing with the past or having closed off the past, it's almost like a cycle of repeating the same pattern of meeting people very similar to this past situation or this past energy. These people are like drawn to you like flies. And because you're a Libra and you're calm, cool, and collected, and you're fair and you're just with everything, you give these people a chance, even though you know in your gut it might not be the right path for you. The next card you have is anything tangible that comes through in December. And you have the King of Needles or King of Swords. This is what I'm talking about. This is knowing your path. This is knowing, where am I going? The King of Swords this is no bullshit. This is like, he built I forget her name all of a sudden. Anyways, he put her together, and the King of Needles is saying, I know where I'm going. I trust my instincts. I trust that I'm doing what, I should be doing. And the King of Swords is saying, look, that toxicity is no longer allowed or acceptable here, or no longer holding headspace. Okay, this toxicity, this devil is not. The king is very intense. This is taking charge of your domain and growing your empire and growing, you're strong and you're capable of anything. So very interesting, because this talks about, like the battle. Okay, the battle between you and this type of energy. And you're saying, Nope. Hell no. And what's even more interesting is I think that this person coming back wanting the reconciliation drops this energy. And I know that sounds weird, but bear with me, because you sitting here saying, no, I don't know. You know, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Don't you keep coming back in here? I told you can't come back in here. Although for some of you, you really haven't. You think you have, but you haven't really closed it off. And they realize that they're showing up the same way. So they show up as somebody different. We'll wait and see what the clarifiers say, though, because is there a disguise being worn here, or is it sincere? The next card you have is how you're feeling. Gosh, this card and your card, Libra's card, has been coming up. The Justice card has been coming up in every freaking read, in every different form of decks that I use. The Fool card is how you're feeling. You just want to leap of faith. You want to get out there, take a risk. You want to get your mojo on. You want to get your bounce. Like, no judgment zone here. Come on, we're all grown-ups. Like, who doesn't, like enjoy a little fun time, a little flirtatious, maybe a little more than that. The Fool card talks about, again, you don't need to know what direction you're going. You just need to actually move forward. And that's the issue here, Libra. You say you're going to move forward. You want to move forward. You're making the decision to move forward. Move freaking forward and stop with the Two of Swords energy. However, this person is not letting you go. There's still going to be like a thorn in your side. And I see a thorn right now because of this Devil card. They may not show up as a thorn in the future, a couple months from now. But right now, as the king, you're going, no, you know what? I take over my domain. I know what I want. I know what I deserve. I won't deal with this devil. The next card you have is your hopes and fears. Well, you have the Two of Potions. Whew. Libra, you guys never cease to amaze me. The Two of Potions or Two of Cups is the twin flame energy, the karmic connection, the all of the above. You're fearful that you have it. You're fearful that you're losing it. Your fear or hope, your hope is that you find it and that it's not this person right here. But your fear is that it is this person right here, and eventually you will want to choose this person, or eventually they'll change, or eventually you hope that you guys can come back together. So it's kind of this whirlwind that's going on right now. But your ultimate Two of Cups here is whoever you choose. And this is what it comes down to with this Two of Swords that I was talking about. You need to be confident in your decisions. If this past person is this toxic energy, then what are you doing? And if they show up in the future and they're totally different, then fine. But for right now, what are you doing? Justice served. Give them a little paddle. Nothing wrong with a little wooden spoon of the arse, right? So the Two of Cups, like I talked about, is something very significant for you because you want this, but you also had the connection in the past and you want to cut that off. So it's very much double-edged here, Libra. The next card you have is your outcome card. And you have the Six of Swords or Six of Needles. Very interesting, because the Six of Swords, it can cut very deeply. The Six of Swords is, or Six of Swords Six of Swords is depicting leaving a situation. It's going, it's retreating, it's abandoning a situation. The Six of Swords is mayday, mayday, ship sinking, not going to do this. So for a lot of you, Libra, I'm going to be completely honest. You may still stick your head in the sand and not make the decision that needs to be made at this point. Nothing bad, nothing wrong with that. It's just literally the Six of Swords is somebody who's leaving a situation. But I don't necessarily know that you're leaving. I don't know that you're leaving an ex behind. I don't know that it feels like maybe retreating. This can also be vacation or travel. So for some of you, you're like, you know what? Screw it. Maybe a few Mai Tais and something else will put me in the thought process of, where should I go? So for some of you, literally, this may be travel. But for others of you, the Six of Swords talks about leaving a situation completely. And it's almost as if you're abandoning all notion of, I'm just going to kind of figure out what I want to do. Yeah. Because you have the Magician coming out. This is the Six of Swords is you leaving a situation altogether. Not saying that you won't get back together with the past, not saying that you will. It's just saying that right now you're going to manifest something completely different. So for a lot of you, it's going to be single. It's going to be enjoying time. It's going to be meeting new people. It's going to be not making a decision about something that you need to. Ultimately, as I said, this will be a stalemate until you make a decision regarding it, until you fully come around and understanding what you need to do or where you're going. But see, you've got so much confusing energy coming out because you have the Magician, which talks about you have the tools to do what you want or to get what you want or to be with who you want, and everything coming up wonderful and everything coming up roses to a certain extent. Like, what do you want? Where are you going? And yet something's still holding you back, even though you've told yourself over and over and over you're not going to do that. And then here comes the Lover's card. What are you doing? Gemini's card. You may be dealing with a Gemini or Gemini placements in your chart, but literally it's like you're manifesting something completely different, non-toxic, and here they come. Yes, this could be a new person, but with this Six of Cups coming in your future, no, you're manifesting this person back to a certain extent. For some of you, it is somebody new, and then the past comes walking back in. But this Lover's card right here is an ultimatum, this decision going along with the Two of Swords, in the fact that, you know, there's a connection here. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's stop shaming ourselves for loving people regardless of the situation. I'm so tired of people being, well, I shouldn't love this. Who gives a fuck? If you love somebody, you love somebody. It just depends on whether you allow their energies into your life. You could love, you know, the worst person on earth, and you should never shame yourself for feeling love towards that person. Just whether you make a good decision to stay or go, right? Now, like I said, you have the Lover's card here, which definitely tells me there will be some heartstrings pulled. You will be dealing with somebody that you mesh with. It could even be just like a lust, love, you know, meeting somebody new. But really, Libra, we're talking about somebody from the past who's going to be showing back up, even if you push on to find somebody new, even if you push on to meet somebody new. You have the Ace of Wands here, and this talks about passion. This talks about energy. This talks about it's very much I've been missing out on a lot of things. I forgot to stop and smell the roses. I've given too much time or energy to things that don't work in my life. This is, don't pass opportunities by. The time is now. You know, it also talks about bringing dreams to life. So if you're missing somebody and you're wanting to build something with somebody from the past, then, you know, don't miss out on those chances. But if you're looking for somebody new, don't miss out on those chances either. Libra, I am not going to lie. I'm so tired. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's making me exhausted. You have the Six of Cups here, the ultimate reconciliation card. This person's still going to come in. Will you want to build something on that? I don't necessarily know. I do think that you will be looking for new love. I do think that there's a possibility new love will come in, and it's going to come in quick with the Eight of Wands. But I do think it's going to be in competition with this past person. The Eight of Wands is somebody who moves very quick, who's very fast, like, oh, Libra, you're the one. But it's going to be like double duty. You're going to have the past person come in, and you're going to have the past person come in, and then you're already going to be like dealing with the present person, or like the moment you move forward with this new type of energy, this new type of love, somebody else comes back in. And then you have rose quartz, love and compassion. Woof. Let's get down here. Let's cool her down. Let's cool her down. Seriously, like, I'm not even kidding you, Libra. You're going to have love coming at you from all directions. Your card has been showing up in every read. I'm not kidding you. Go into all the reads and you will see the Justice card coming out in possibly every read, if not like, you know, 6 out of the 8 I've done or whatever so far. I have like 4 more to go, and we'll see if Justice pulls in on those. But literally, you're being pulled in a lot of different directions. You're just popular. You're hot. You're on fire, Libra. And you know what? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You move on to something great and wonderful. You still have somebody tugging at your heartstrings. You close this off. You move on to somebody new. The heartstrings still tug. I'm not saying that you're going to go back, but yeah, love and compassion. I'm melting over here, and it's cold outside.